concern with harmony is very important today.
What do you value most in life?
Well, I'm a very curious person. I like to confront new ideas and new challenges. I learn new things. So I believe, you know, one of the great secrets to a good life is having many things in balance, as we're saying, harmony, you know, your work and love and your passions. But I also think keeping curious and being interested in things, all different kinds of things. And that's why I love being here, working with new dancers, working in a new way. They have a different culture that makes me learn new things. This is invaluable.
Who are your heroes in art? Maybe music or fashion?
Oh, I have so many. So many. You know, let's just start with fashion. Fashion has had such incredible creative geniuses. I mean, in the 20th century, it's incredible. From, I mean, just in recent time, if we, you know, Gautier with his innovation of the classic, how he has turned that and deconstructed and made it new, and Lacroix with his sense of pattern. You know, I probably love the Italians most of all because I like the sobriety plus innovation. I think it's deeply classical, but it's twisted to something new. I think Miuccia Prada really did invent a modern woman in her early days of great thinking about fashion. You know, in art, because I work a lot with contemporary artists, I have many heroes. Bryce Marden, who's a great painter, Philip Taft, Jeff Koons, a great thinker about contemporary culture, David Sally. These are all people I've worked with. So there, again, I have many heroes. I love, you know, Jackson Pollock. I mean, going back a little further. And again, music, well, we'll just stick with Bartók.
What influence has your own home city had on your creative process?
Well, I have a lot of home cities because I've lived in a lot of countries. And I'll just speak about one place, which is Florence. I was the director of the ballet company in Florence, Italy. And this was a very, very important influence on me artistically. In the United States, we do have every culture coming together, and we have a huge amount of information, and we're being fed with all different ideas all the time. Then I got to Florence, which has a very distinct and severe and defined culture. And I realized that if you take just a few simple ingredients, like Florentine food, which is so wonderful, there are only 3 ingredients. You have a little peperoncino, a little spice, you have a little tomato, you have one wild thing. You put it together and you have a delicious meal. So I realized getting down to 3 or 4 essential things, you can make great art. Too many things, it doesn't have enough focus. I learned this from Florentine food.
Which one of the 5th senses would you not be part with?
Sorry, that question is really a terrible question. Which sense could I not do without? You know, I actually think touch, interestingly. Of course, what we do is so visual and we have music, but I think I couldn't live without touch, feeling other people, almost feeling the air. I mean, that sensual pleasure, I think I need.
What is your biggest fear?
You know, I've gotten to the age where I don't really have very many fears. It's been a very, you know, it's taken a lot of courage to live this life of being a kind of avant-garde ballet choreographer because there's no security. There are very few places you can do it. You earn no money. You're quite marginal. So I've taken risks all the time, and it has been very rich and wonderful life. So I think the only thing I would fear is that I lose my curiosity to engage with the world and continue to participate.
Do you believe in love?
I definitely believe in love, but I don't believe in God.
Do you think love has a color? What color would it be?
You know, maybe it's white. It's something that is so, because white, of course, really has every color in it. the truth of the matter is if you look in the prism, it's every color. I would say that's love. It's the whole rainbow.
And do you believe that love lasts forever?
I used to believe it. And I do wish it were true in my case. Actually, I do believe it lasts forever. Even when love changes and you're maybe not in the same kind of intimacy, clearly that deep connection to someone does last forever. It just changes form.
Which philosopher's way of seeing has opened your eyes?
Well, who have I thought about the most? You know, I do love reading the Greeks still, very, very much. You know, Pascal's Pensées, Hegel, Nietzsche. I mean, there's so many, and this is, for me, very important in my thinking about choreography. I absolutely am thinking a lot about these kind of philosophical or existential issues, because I think the stage is a place that we can think about what is important in life, see our experiences, think about how to create balance from them.
Who were you in a past life? Are you close to reaching nirvana?
Do we need light? Oh, okay, you got the light. Who was I in a past life? I was probably a chipmunk. I think a little animal that was really fast and agile. And I think I have a ways to go before nirvana.
Could you give an example of your country's sense of humor or folklore or a joke or any little story? Something funny.
It could be related to dance.
Or childhood.
I'm trying to think. I like this idea of thinking about folklore. That's interesting. You know, it's interesting. Yeah, I grew up in the West, really with the pioneer spirit, you know. And I do think that this very much has had a huge influence on my career, and then the fact that I want to be on the frontier. I want to be doing what is new. I want to push the boundaries. I feel like that is very much, you know, from this childhood sense of the West, of the US, where I grew up. It's not funny. Sorry, I can't think of anything funny.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. See, I should have studied. I should have studied that.